Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you here on another Integrative Health Coach Success podcast, where the topic of the week is how to get hired as a health coach anywhere. So one of the topics that I love being able to really reach out to you on this particular show is not necessarily how to always be a better health coach. You know, we teach that. I talk about the nuts and bolts of the Cabral concept of good overall functional medicine and the terminology and all the different topics. But what I want to share with you is that honestly, the only way that you're able to help people is to be able to work with more people. And I know that seems like really self-explanatory and very basic, but I've just met so many great coaches and practitioners. And again, whenever I say coach or practitioner, understand it to be personal trainer, acupuncturist, massage therapist, health coach, you name it, right? So we're practitioners of health, right? Health practitioner. So that's what we're talking about. And a coach is someone that works with someone. So we can call, the field is more of a health coach. But I've just worked with really smart, great people, knowledgeable, and I would say even personable, but they've just never been able to get in front of enough people, work with enough people to make them feel fulfilled and, of course, help so many other people in this world. So I want to share some of this with you today. I'm also going to give you some additional videos to watch, and that will be from a seminar that I did previously. So that's going to be at ihp.coach/030. So head on over to ihp.coach/030. And I'm going to give you an additional seminar I did just about a year ago or so, which is going to go really in depth on this topic. But for right now, what I want to do is I want to kind of peel back the curtain as to exactly what I'm looking for, and other health coaching practices around the world look for in terms of hiring. And the nice thing is this: regardless of your experience level right now, there's most likely a position inside of this company that you are qualified for. And I'm going to go through the different levels with you on the show. And really, just before we get started with the different levels, because again, there's a level for everyone. There's your dream job, literally there waiting. And it doesn't mean that you start at that job, but it means you could progress to it. And I want to share all of that with you. So you have to understand, a lot of people apply to companies saying, well, I really want to come and work with you. I want to gain valuable experience with you. I want to learn, your different teaching methodologies. But that is not what a company is looking to hear. All right. So this is peeling back the curtain. You have to understand that these organizations are extremely busy. So you're talking about potentially hundreds of appointments a week, right? That's what we do. And you are then saying, okay, you want me to hire you, teach you, train you, get you up to speed on everything while paying you at the same time, right? So can you see that from the company's standpoint? And that's why, again, all these shows are meant to be really honest. So we're paying you a salary, we're training you, we're teaching you. Well, and we actually do that. So we do that. But it's for a select few, because you can understand that from a model, from an actual business. And again, so there's different ways of looking at this. Is like, well, if you're looking to go on your own and you're starting your own organization, your own health center, fitness center, online virtual practice, etc., all the different expenses that come along with that, right? You've got your rent. If you're renting the space, you might have an assistant, you might have different software. So there's already an expense to get started. And then you're adding on another expense of bringing on another individual that you do hope works out, of course, and will be able to work in the company. But it's not the best way to view it. And so again, I'm just sharing that with you from the inside. The best way to view this is for you to understand what a company is looking for and show them how you will become a valuable asset for them, and that you've already tried to acquire the knowledge that they will be looking for so that it takes less on-job, on-site training. Okay, I want to repeat that. The most valuable people to a particular company, any company in the world, we can even take it outside of the health world, is that you've already acquired the knowledge that they are looking for, or another additional avenue, like more knowledge that they don't even have, that when they brought you on, you would be able to hit the ground running. That's what every organization, every business is looking for. There's of course going to be a 30-day learning curve of like, hey, you need to learn about the business, learn about the people, learn how the software works, the systems works. There's always part of it. But you have to understand those types of people who have the specific knowledge that the job is looking for and they have experience are always going to be at the top of the list. Right? So you might say, well, how do I get that experience to then obviously be there? And that's a great question. So that's what we're going to go over. So there's two ways to become the ideal candidate for a position. And that is already specified knowledge. So for example, let's say that you want to get hired at a high-level health club, fitness club or like a boutique personal training studio. If you have a base certification, it doesn't really differentiate you, and it can't make up for a lack of experience. So if you have a lack of experience, you want to have the best certifications, okay? So for example, in the fitness field, you'd want to be NASM certified or ACSM certified. And if you're going into a strength and conditioning facility, you would want to be NSCA certified as a personal trainer and then get your CSCS, which is your certified strength and conditioning specialist, okay? Now, there are other organizations out there. They're not the only ones. I understand that. But then that sets you apart. Why? For a couple of reasons. One is you have more specific knowledge. So you're going to be able to talk the same terminology with a company that hired you. But the second is it shows discipline. You made an investment in yourself. You went after it without even having the job yet. And you said, I'm ready to make this my career. Because people want to hire you as your career, not as like, hey, test us out, right? It takes so much time, money, and energy to train a new person, not just their salary, but the investment in the other people in the company that are taking their time to be able to train this new person. So you have to understand, they have to look at it from a company-based perspective as well. So a company wants you to succeed, and they want you to do well, and they want you to love your job. At least that's what we want. But you have to understand is like there's a few sides to this. Like we're making a major investment in people, and I felt the same way. When I owned my first body transformation, fitness and nutrition based studio way back in the day. Well, what would I do was I would invest heavily for 16 weeks just in one person. And so it was a big investment on both parties' parts. Like one person came in and said, hey, I'm taking a risk on you. And I would say, yes, and I'm taking the same risk on you. And we both, said, this is going to be great. We're both dedicated. We're going to make this work. And, 9 times out of 10, it did. And so that's great, but you both have to be committed. And so that's how you look for the commitment. Now, if you have the highest level of certifications, then, let me mention one more thing about certifications. The certification has to match the job you're looking for. So there's a lot of great certifications out there, but if you're looking to work in an integrative health or functional medicine-based practice, there's only 3 companies that provide actual knowledge about lab testing out there, right? So again, there's IHP, Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, and there's IFM. So there's one other one that's a bit smaller. It doesn't give you the same practical knowledge because they only use, I believe, one lab. I don't want to get into it, but probably not the one that's going to put you the highest on the list. So if you want to work in a functional medicine practice, you just have to know about lab testing. Again, hopefully that makes sense. There's no way that they're going to be able to train you on everything you need to know about lab testing on the job. You already have to come in with that knowledge, right? So that's one specified. That's why not every health coaching certification is created exactly equal. If you want to do more life coaching, there's many more organizations. If you want to do just nutrition, well, there's many more organizations. So you have to understand essentially what you're looking for, what you'd like to be doing, and the company that you want to be working with. Okay, so now let's go through, again, the nuts and bolts of this as well. So say your dream job, I'm going to give you a real life example within Equalife, our company. Say your dream job inside of Equalife is to be one of our health coaches working one-on-one virtually with clients all around the world, going over their labs, developing personalized wellness plans, and all that great stuff. Okay, so that's your ideal job. What do you need to do? Well, ideally, you have experience already doing that. And ideally, you all mean working with labs with clients. And ideally, you've gone through the entire Institute for Functional Medicine and done lab testing. Even that still doesn't give you all the labs, but you've gone through their additional work, or you've gone through IHP level 2. Okay, so let's say you don't have the experience, but you have IHP level 2. All right, so what do you need? Well, now you need a great personality that works well with clients. You have the knowledge, but now you need to gain on-the-job experience working with clients. Okay, you can still do that. Now, who's above that person? Well, above that person would be, let's say you have IHP level 2 certification. You have the personality to work one-on-one with people. You're great over camera, meaning like just over video calls. And you're good, quick on your feet, able to have really nice relationships, caring personality about that person. And maybe you have a year or 2 or 3 years experience working with coaching clients. Even if it's not lab-based, you have experience working with coaching clients. Okay, so that's another level up. Now, let's say that is your dream job, but you don't have that certification. You have level 1 or another health coaching certification, and you're not great yet. You don't have any experience working with different personalities and being able to communicate in that way. What can you do? Well, you want to look inside of a company, again, like an Equal Life. You can take any company in the world, but I obviously have insider knowledge about Equal Life. And you want to say, what other positions inside of this company might I be able to gain some experience, prove myself, and then be able to work up inside of the organization? Let me step outside of Equal Life for a second. So a lot of times inside of the fitness space, someone will work the front desk. So they will check members in at a gym. They will meet with members, maybe make a smoothie for them, like whatever you're doing at the front desk. And again, it's a great job. I mean, it's your starting point. It's a fun job. Or you might work in sales, like membership sales. And then after that, maybe you work as, when I was 17, turning 18, I worked as a fitness tech at a gym, which means I wasn't old enough to be a certified personal trainer, but I could walk around the gym floor, assist people with what they might have questions on, ask people if they have questions. I was basically racking weights. I mean, that's really what I was doing. Wiping down equipment, sweat, and racking weights, and just saying, and being personable. That's that. But it gave me a foot in the door. Then guess what? Okay. 6 months later, 8 months later, study for my first certification, take the certification. They already know me. The gym owners, the general manager already knows me. And so what? Well, then I get hired as a personal trainer and nutritionist. So then, okay, now I have my first job. What am I doing? I'm gaining experience at a local gym, not a big high-end gym, a local gym where I was getting paid $8 an hour to then be able to gain experience. I was getting paid to gain experience. It was fantastic. I loved being in a gym, loved working with people on nutrition, loved working personal training when I was, in college. During my winter breaks and during my summer, I would do that. I worked 2 jobs in the summer, and one of them was nutrition and personal training. Then I graduate and I go directly full-time into personal training and nutrition, and that's how I got my start. So you can work your way up. You can go from front desk to like fitness technician to personal trainer, and then eventually you could become maybe the manager of the personal trainers, which I did when I was 23 years old. I was very fortunate. I out of 33 personal trainers, 2 of us were elected, I guess, as directors of the personal training department. So I was young, but I went into the job with the mindset that I'm here to learn. There was 40-year-old and 50-year-old personal trainers in this organization, and I was like, this is a high-end club that I got hired for. And I was like, I'm just a kid. I mean, I'm 22 years old. So I'm just saying, I want to learn from you. And I was humble about it because I had good certifications. I really got hired, not for personal training, to be honest with you, because of my nutrition background. They would not have hired me for my personal training background because there would have been much more experienced individuals. But I knew nutrition inside and out because by that point I had been studying for 4 years, nutritional supplements, anti-inflammatory diet plans, all sorts of different things, working with bodybuilders, figure competitors, athletes on their nutrition. So I got hired for my nutrition, but I was as a personal trainer. So I was humble, and maybe that's why I tried to be humble, and that's maybe that I was elected as one of those. But then you can move up in that way, and then you get to work more with the front office and see how things go. So what am I saying is this, is inside of a company like Equal Life, and most integrative health-based companies or functional medicine companies where you're working with clients, you could get a job in customer support. What does that mean? Okay, your ideal job is as a health coach, an integrative health practitioner, but But there's nothing wrong with starting with email support, okay? So what are you doing? Well, you don't have all the experience in the world, but you certainly can provide email experience, even if it's part-time. Well, what do you gain with that? Well, what you gain with that is a foot in the door, so that the people in the company know your name. You also learn how the company works, which is invaluable. You learn how the company works, or a health company works, and you also learn their frequently asked questions. Those are the top 30 questions that you get over and 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 over. So every company gets their top 30 questions. And so you then learn those. Okay, so now what could you do? Well, in customer service, now you can say, hey, what about me providing front support for social media? In a Facebook group or on social media comments, I can provide some answers, some back and forth answers for people. Every company needs a good customer service person, a essentially coach. That would be like the fitness tech role in those jobs. They are a health coach, but they're maybe ascending then to that next level. That is a great spot, especially if you can create social media content and you're personable. Well, every company needs multiple people in that role. They might not even know it. So you could create a role for yourself, even if it's just part-time, 2 hours a day or so, where you are responding to questions inside a Facebook group. Or maybe you go to this company and you say, hey, listen, I will create a support group for you online. I will run that group for you. And that's super valuable to most companies. Okay. The next person up there would be a Facebook group moderator. So you might have multiple people asking questions or answering questions in the group, but you have one person that's overseeing that. And they're making sure that the proper answers are given, the proper links are given out, that no medical advice is being given, that this stays health coaching. That person is obviously another level up. That's great. And then say you go from customer support to social media to then a moderator within these groups, and then an opening opens up for a health coach, or you let them know you're interested. Well, here's the thing. If you have the personality, you have the knowledge, and you have the right certifications, you very well could be that next person be hired. So what I'm sharing with you is this is a very straightforward way in order to be able to work your way up in a company if you don't have all the experience yet or all the certifications, and prove yourself along the way. Then from a health coaching based role, one day you might want to become a manager of the health coaches, where you're doing maybe less one-on-ones, but you're overseeing the wellness plans that are being created, the email support that's being created, maybe the labs that are coming in, all these different things. That's a manager-based role. And then the role even above that is overseeing the manager, the whole program as a whole, all of the directors, any questions that are coming in from a high level, and that would be a director. So you have to understand is that this industry in general, it works like this. Whether it's a wellness spa, a functional medicine-based company, virtual or not, a personal training studio, a gym, this is how you ascend. Every single company honestly has an organization like this. And right now, your job is to decide, where do you fit into this equation, and go for it. Reach out to this company. Just say, one day I would love to work with you or for you as a health coach. However, right now I see you have an opening for social media support. I believe with my current knowledge and my certifications and my study and my ability and willingness to do anything for you, that I'm the right candidate for this job. You need to show this company that you are willing to go above and beyond that next person that's applying, because there's not many roles for these companies, right? These are like great roles to have. And so a lot of times what you can even say, and this is one of the things, and I know that I'm kind of like giving away too much right now. I've given this advice to many people, and it works. And again, we can't everybody to apply to Equal Life this way, so I'm just saying that. If you really want a job, if you really want to be a part of that organization, you say, listen, I'm willing to work for free for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to prove myself. I know that you're taking a risk on me. I know there are things that I'm going to have to learn. I'm willing to prove myself and show you how much I want it, how much I want to be a part of your organization, how much I want to learn, and that I will do whatever I need to in order to make it happen. I've used this myself many times in the past, okay? Whenever I wanted an internship or to be coached by someone, I say, let me know what you need. What do you need? What do you need done? I'll do that, just to then be able to learn. So when someone comes to a company like that and shows you that they are all in, that they believe in your mission, that they want to be a part of it, you might not be able to get them to their dream job, in 6 months or a year's time, but they can be a valuable asset to the company, and vice versa, that company provides a lot of education and learning, and of course a paycheck too, because you're not going to work for free forever. So I just wanted to share that. Again, it's not the right decision for everyone. Not everyone can work for free for a period of time, but you might not have to make it a 40-hour week. You might just offer 3 hours a day. It could be something like that. So I wanted to share that with you. Again, hopefully you understand a little bit more about the ins and outs now of a company and how you're able to move in at the right slot, right position based on where you're at right now. So again, would love to hear your feedback. If this is helpful, let me know. This is really peeling back the curtain, sharing everything that goes on with all of my different organizations. So I'd love to hear if this is valuable or not. So of course, if this was helpful too, you can feel free to share it with a colleague that you think it could help out as well. All right, take care, everyone. All the links, anything related to this show will be at ihp.coach/030. Talk with you soon.